Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Kelly, Social Media Manager at the Toronto Real Estate Board.
And I'm Jason Mercer, the Toronto Real Estate Board Senior Manager of Market Analysis.
Now Jason, sales were up over the summer, especially compared to last year, and August was no exception. So why don't you run down some of the statistics for us?
Sure, Shannon. Let's start with sales. We saw 7,569 transactions entered through the Toronto MLS system in August. And this was up by about 21% in comparison to August 2012. And we saw a double-digit increase across most major home types. And so if we think about what's been the major driver of this sales growth, it really comes back to many households having accounted for the impact of stricter mortgage lending guidelines that came into effect last year. And so you've seen many of these households then reactivate their search for ownership housing. And a lot of buyers have found a diversity of affordable ownership options across the Greater Toronto Area.
And Jason, people are always concerned about home prices and how they're holding up. So is it fair to assume that because sales were up in August, that home prices were also up in compared to last year?
That's right. We did see strong price growth for August. We saw the average selling price up by 5.5% to a little bit more than $503,000. And at the same time, we saw the MLS home price index up by 3.7% when we're looking at the composite benchmark indicator, which gives us an apples-to-apples comparison of price growth from one year to the next. And also, similar to sales, if we look at price growth by home type, we did see both the average price and the MLS HPI benchmark up for most major home types. And so the main reason underlying this has been the continuation of tight market conditions. We saw growth in sales on an annual basis outstrip growth in listings, both new listings and active listings at the end of August. And so this means that there's still quite a bit of competition between home buyers in the marketplace, and that always serves to exert upward pressure on selling prices.
Now Jason, when you say that home prices were up across most major home types, does that include condominium apartments?
It does. I mean, the condominium apartment market has been the best supplied market segment over the last year or so, certainly with strong condominium apartment completions over the last couple of years. But even with that said, with buyers benefiting from a little bit more choice, we have seen the price trend for condos flat to up over the last few months. And so what that means is that we have seen enough interest in condominium apartments relative to supply to keep upward pressure, albeit at a more moderate pace than when we're looking at low-rise home types in the Greater Toronto Area.
Now it'd be interesting to see if this upward trend in home price and home sales continues for the rest of the year. But we'll be back to talk to you again in a month's time. In the meantime, you can still connect with us on Twitter at TREB Home as well as on Facebook. And from both of us, have a great month.
Brought to you by GTA Realtors.